All right, so this is the Administrator Basics Webinar 6. This will probably be the more brief webinar that we've had just because we have less topics, but we will keep it definitely to under 45 minutes. At any time, you all could use the question text in the dashboard, the question section, to ask questions. As I go through, I'll stop periodically and just make sure that there's nothing open in the question text. And then the video will also be posted online. Also, since this webinar will be a little shorter than the others, if you have other questions about past webinars, you can ask them in the questions field as well. So specifically for this webinar, we're going to talk about first discounts and promotions, so how you can build discounts and promotions on events and other items in DoubleKnot, price groups, how to utilize price groups, and then we'll talk about payment schedules. So again, we are going to be in our test environment, this test organization called the Ranch and Conference Center, but it will function just like production unless one of our developers decides to make a change midway through our webinar. So let's go ahead and go to event management and talk about discounts and promotions. So discounts and promotions can really be utilized on memberships, store products, or any event type within DoubleKnot. And for today's webinar, we're really going to focus on the event side of discounts, but they're used throughout the system. We also have documentation pertaining specifically to discounts, which you can find under user manuals. And if we don't touch on something in this webinar, please write into support or throw a question in the answer portion of the GoToWebinar. So discounts and promotions. So promotions really are, hey, we want to put a discount code. You register for this event on these dates, use this discount code, and you get a dollar amount or percentage off your registration. You also can build ratio-based discounts. You know, you register 3 kids, you get 1 free adult. You can do discounts on other events. So if you register for this event, you can also get a discount on this other event. So you can have this all built in to discounts within DoubleKnot. So let's go ahead and get started. So last time I hosted the webinar, I built these Family Fun Day events. So I built an event today called Family Fun Day at the Park. This event is different because I set the event to unnamed registrant, and that just allows us to test without actually entering in the names of registrants. It's just quicker for you all to actually see the discounts I'm building. So building discounts, you can build discounts at an individual event level. So I can select my event and I can come down to this discounts option in the left menu. You also, if I say done here and go to utilities, you can also build discounts on a organization level. So I can say manage discounts to the lower left and say new discount to the right. And I can then, instead of selecting the event from the calendar activities section, I can just choose the event right here. Some people like this view because it just gives them an overall look at all the discounts that they have built. You can uncheck this box if you don't want to look at the discounts that are inactive or for past events or have been used. So let's say done here. And let's go back to calendar activities and go to Family Fun Day at the Park. So I'm going to go to discounts. The first discount I'm going to build is a simple promotion. You know, use this discount code, get 10% off your registration. You want to put that out on social media, whatever it may be. What you're going to do is you're going to pretty much leave these 2 or 3 drop downs alone. The organization is the ranch. You can toggle between your orgs here. Here are all your event. You're only going to have this specific event because you selected this event. This discount type here, this basically says, is this a discount on this specific event, the Family Fun Day at the Park, or do you want to build a stacked discount where if they register for this event and another event, they get the discount? So if you say on another registration, that will kick in that type of discount where if you register for these 2 events at the same time, you get 10% off your registration. Discount on a product basically says if you register for this event and purchase a camp t-shirt in our store, you get this discount. So it just allows you to have 2 items or 3 items in the cart and you qualify for a discount. So for this basic promotion discount, we're just going to leave it organization event discount type as is. We're going to check the box active because as soon as I build this, I want to make it active. If you wanted to build a bunch of discount codes but not have them active, you could just leave that box unchecked. The description is what's going to show up on the page when they activate the discount on the shopping cart page. So I can say, I could spell family discount. Next thing this asks is this discount based on registrant info. For this, I'm going to say no. If you say yes here, this allows you to build discounts basically that says if you register 3 adults, you get 1 free youth or vice versa. It also allows you to build per registrant or overall discounts, and we'll talk about that. But I'm going to say no here. Date of registration is between. So I could put parameters here that says, you know, you have to register between 2/1 and 3/1 to get this discount. You can actually put those parameters in place. You also can say, you know, if you're registering Monday through Friday, you get this discount, but not if you're registering on the weekend. That doesn't make a lot of sense for calendar activities, but if you use our reservations module, that should make a lot of sense because we have a lot of facilities or reservations in DoubleKnot where people give weekday discounts. So if you're renting our conference center Monday through Friday, it's cheaper than the weekends. So people will build discounts where they get 10% off if you reserve this asset Monday through Friday. That's why you really see days of registration. That's really where that's used most. Next one is you can set a parameter. It says registration is at least. So in order to qualify for the registration, it's at least this much money. You can build that in here. For this, again, I'm just building a very basic discount. What I'm saying is I want to give a 10% discount if they use discount code family fun. So what this is this is going to appear in their cart. If they enter in family fun, they're going to get 10% off their registration on the family fun day at the park event. If I chose one time, this code, family fun, could literally be used only one time. So that is really used when you want to give out a code to someone. Maybe someone had a bad experience and you want to give them a code. You can build an individual code, check this box, and it can literally only be used one time. We also see this used a lot for like scholarships or camperships where someone sponsors someone or someone's from a low-income household and you want to give them a discount through a campership or scholarship. So you can build individual codes like John Doe 123 and hand this out to John Doe's family, mother, father, whomever, guardian. And you can tell them, okay, you qualified for our scholarship or financial aid, whatever you call it. And you can hand them out this code through email, through whatever. And then when they go on and register for the event, they can get that discount code or that discount amount. We see that quite often as well, again, used for scholarships or whatnot. So I'm going to just leave this one family fun. I'm not going to check one time because I'm going to put this out on the internet, and I want multiple people to see this and use it for this event. So once I have this built, I can say add, and now you'll see this is my discount built for this event. So once I have this built, I have other options here. I can edit it, assign it, or delete it. Edit or delete, I'm sure you get what that means. Change some parameters, delete it. Assign allows you to assign this discount to other events that you have built in DoubleKnot. So if you want to build this here and say, you know what, I want to assign it to all of my family fun day events. I can say, well, show me all my family fun day event in this category. And I can check these off and click add. And now it's assigned to all my family fun day events. So you can easily assign a discount to other events in the system. So let's say done here. So this discount, as you saw, is pretty basic. So if I come to this event, and I'm going to use a different browser for this. I'm going to use Safari just so you'll see this pop up. And I'll say go there. Oops, I have to change that URL because we're in stage. So hold on 1 second. Okay, so now you'll see here's my basic event. And again, I've kept this really basic because I just want to, for demonstration purposes, I just have unnamed registrant. But if I say continue, and I probably should have removed this form, but that's not bad. If I say continue here, now since I have built a code, you'll see this discount code field. And I can say, for example, family fun, and I can click apply. Oh, put that space in there. If I click apply, you're going to see here's the discount, and then parenthetically, this is the description of that discount. So you want it to make sense to the user. So whatever you put in that description field, you want it to be applicable and make sense when they get it. So you'll see they got that 10% off, discount of $55 for a total of $495. So that's just a very basic discount code promotion that you can use. So let's go now and build another type of common discount that you may need. So let's go back to discounts now, and I'm going to say new discount. So let's say that you want to give a discount for the more kids they register, you want to give them a discount on the adults. So a popular one we see, we'll call it the free adult discount. For this one, I'm going to say yes. This is overall. So this discount is based on the registrant info, meaning the registrant types in the event. And the registrant types that I have in this event are just adult and youth. I'm going to ignore the date of registration is between and days of registration. We talked about what that means. So that just basically limits this discount, the parameters of this discount, to these dates or days of the week. Now you have this option for overall or per registrant. So for what this one is, for how I'm going to do this, I'm going to say overall. If you wanted the discount to be on a per person basis, you could say per registrant. So the discount is per person, not overall. And what I tell people with discounts, even to this day, I always, and even our support staff, we always test this stuff out, because the way my brain works, and I know a lot of other people feel this way, is just build this stuff and test it out. It's real simple to build an event like I have here with unnamed registrant. And it's easy just to play with this because there's a lot of stuff you can do with discounts that we could spend 3 hours going through. So it's important to test things out. If you get stuck, go to support, but we encourage you to play with it and test it out because there's a lot of parameters and things you can do with discounts. And again, we're always there to help. So let's do this here. So we want to do something where they get free adults. So I'm going to come to this discount applicable field. So I can say every or at least. So what I'm going to say here, I'm going to say every 3, and I'm going to click youth, you get 1 free adult. I also could give a discount. So I could say for every 3 youth, you get a $10 discount. I could do something like that, or a percentage discount. So every 3 youth, you get a 10% off, something like that. Or it wouldn't be a percentage, would make sense, but you could do a dollar amount for that. For this one, I'm going to say for every 3 youth, you get 1 free adult. You also could say something like at least. So if you have at least 3 youth, you get 1 free adult. But this one will give it for every 3 youth, not just a flat at least. I'm not going to put a discount code because I don't want them to have to enter a code. I just want them to get 1 free adult for every 3 youth automatically. Very rarely would you put a code on this type of discount because, again, you want them just to go in, register, and automatically get that discount. You have a one-time, again, not going to use that too often for this type, but you can add that if you choose. So I'm going to say add here. And now you'll see, here's my free adult discount, 1 free adult registrant for every 3 youth registrants. Okay, so let's go back here now and play with this one. So I'm going to say, okay, let's do 2 adults and 3 youth. And I'll say continue. Now you'll see I have a free adult. So I have 3 youth and 2 adults. So that gives me one of those adults is free. So I get a $125 discount. I also can come back here and say, okay, well, what if there's 6 youth? And I can say continue. And if I register 6 youth, now you'll see that discount goes up to $250 because I get both of those 2 adults free. So that ratio discount is very useful. We see that used a lot in the system. It's a very common discount type. Again, as you can see, once you start to, get the gears going on this, you can really see there's a ton of opportunities for how you use discounts in the system. And it depends on what you're doing. I mean, you can build event discounts, membership discounts, everything is built in. So let's go now back and let's talk about really the third discount type for events. And that's if they register for 2 events, I want to give them this discount. So let's go here to discounts and I'm going to select new discount. And I'm going to say the description here is going to be Family Fun Day Pack. And I'm not going to say register info, but what I'm going to do is select this drop down and say another registration. And once I do that, you're going to see this item appear down here at the bottom. And it basically says, okay, what other activity do you want to tag this to? So you do have your organization, you do have your calendar activity, and I'm going to come here and I'm going to select my other event. So I'm going to choose my Family Fun Day, the 6/20 Family Fun Day. And I'm going to say, I'm going to give them a 25% discount. So basically what this says right now, it says if you register for this event and this event, I'm going to give you 25% off on this calendar activity. So the discount's going to apply to the discount you have in this. I kind of flipped my mouse there. The discount applied is going to apply to this item, the one in the bottom drop down. Now you have to have both of them in your cart, which I'll show you in a moment, but the discount is going to apply to the item in the bottom drop down. So you do want to be aware of that. If they're different prices, it's going to apply to the discount in the bottom. And again, you have all these options. You can say based on register and info. You can do date of registration is between, discount is applicable days of registration is at least. And again, I'll harp on this a little. If you all have a complex discount, try it out. Build a basic event, play with it a little bit. If you need help, please come to support and ask us. But it's always important to test and kind of play with this stuff because as you see, again, there are many options building discounts in DoubleUp. So now I'm going to come here and click add. So now you'll see this item in the discounts field. I have Family Fun Day at the park. You get a 25% discount on Family Fun Day with Family Fun Day at the park. That's the discount of the description. So let's see what that looks like. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to my utilities and I'm going to go to manage categories because this is really how you would display this to your users because you would want them to use the category URL or a calendar category so they could view everything within a category. And it's a lot easier for them to get these types of discounts. So I can start off with either one, 6/20 or 6/27. It doesn't matter which one I register for first. So I'm going to say, let's do Family Fun Day at the park. And I'm going to say there's going to be 3 adults and 2 youth. And I'll say continue. I'll say continue at the bottom here. There's my total. I'm going to say keep shopping. And I'm going to add my Family Fun Day, the 6/20 event. I'm going to add this, and I'm just going to say 1 and 1 because I have a form on here. I want to keep it really clean. Jim Gambino, here we go. No. Medium. Chicken salad. No. Youth medium. Okay, so if I say continue here, again, here's my form, it saves that data. If I say continue, now you're going to see both items in my shopping cart. And the important thing to look at here is this discount. So you'll see discount family fun pack, and it gives a 25% discount again on the 620 event registration because that's the one I had in that second drop down menu. So you'll see this one has a payment schedule, but both of these items in the cart, and then it qualifies for the discount. So it's important that if you put these discounts out there, you have to tell your users that you have to register for these at the same time. If they come back a week from now and register for the Family Fun Day at the park, and they're previously registered for the Family Fun Day on 6/20, they will not get that discount. It has to be purchased at the same time. Okay, so next item I do want to talk about is kind of give you an overview of other discounts in the system real quick. We do have any of these items you can build discounts on. So programs, facilities, calendar activities. You can build discounts again on products and memberships. Memberships is a very important discount area. I'm not going to talk about that too much because everyone with membership, our membership management module has been trained on the discounts. And if you're not, please let us know. But the membership discounts are very useful because you can build a discount based on a membership level or all membership levels. If you're a member, you get 10% off on all events, or you get 25% off on this specific event and so forth. So membership discounts are very useful, but if anyone has that module, people are trained on that. And again, if you're new at your organization or you need a refresher on membership discounts, please reach out to us. So next thing we'll talk about here is we're going to talk about price groups. So what are price groups in DoubleKnot? So price groups really allow you to have different pricing based on a selection made by the person registering for an event. So in the different types of organizations that DoubleKnot works with, so for example, in the scouting world, think of in-council and out-of-council pricing. So if you're an in-council group, you get this pricing. You're out-of-council, you get this pricing. In other types of organizations that use DoubleKnot, zoos, aquariums, nature centers, think about, we have a lot of reservations in those organizations that use price groups. So think about nonprofits, nonprofit organizations, for-profit organizations. You can have different price groups based on that type of group attending. So they make a selection. It's a blind selection. They don't see the pricing. The first question that will come up is, what type of group are you? And they make a selection, and then the pricing is driven from there. Price groups we see mostly used for our reservation system. They're also used for calendar activities, but mostly you see them used in the facilities module. So let's go to utilities, and we'll talk about where you build price groups. So you will see, again, we were here earlier, discount price groups and packages. So if I say manage price groups, I can come to the right here and say new price group. And what I'll say here is, I'll do the for-profit and nonprofit. Because this is also used in the scouting world. So I built two price groups, for-profit and nonprofit. Now what this allows me to do is once I've built those groups, and you can have as many groups as you want. You can have in-council, out-of-council, for-profit, nonprofit, any type of groups you want to define, you can build under price groups. Now, when you build an event, if I come to my Family Fun Day, that's not the event that I built, let me put here. If I go to my category here, Family Fun Day, and I go to Family Fun Day at the park, in the left-hand menu, you're going to see an option for price group schedules. Under price group schedules, it's going to allow you, I should have built this actually, I built this in the other Oregon accident. So let's go back and look at utilities here and go to manage price groups. So you'll see in this organization, we have a ton of different price groups. We have corporate, in-council, nonprofit, non-member, out-of-council, scouting, all these different types of price groups you could possibly use. You also see the silver sponsor, bronze sponsor. So a lot of times, or not a lot of times, sometimes people will use price groups for fundraising events. So we have a number of clients that have like benefit dinners, or think of like a benefit golf event where they have sponsorship levels. And based on those sponsorship levels, you get different benefits. So you can actually build price groups based on those sponsorship levels, and based on those, you then view or see different options, like how many people you can register, the price of registrants. So that's an option whenever you build price groups as well. If you want more details on that, if you have one of those events, please write into support and let us know. So if I come to calendar activities, and I'm going to go to my family fun day at the park, and let's go back to price group schedules. So you'll see here that what this lists is my 2 registrant types. For this event, I have adult and youth. The effective date is going to be the date of pricing. So I'm going to say today forward. So I can come here and say, if this event didn't have price groups, it's just going to be this. It's going to be the same price for all groups. But what this allows you to do is say, okay, I have my adult type. If they say they're a corporate group, I want to make adults $150 each. If they say they're nonprofit, they're going to be $125 each. My youth, if they are corporate, are going to be $150. And if they are nonprofit, I'm going to give them pricing of, let's say like $125 as well. So what this will, and you can select as many of these as you wanted. So if you wanted to use in-council members, whatever it was, you could check these boxes and then set pricing based on the selection. So for this event, I'm doing corporate and nonprofit, and I'm setting my prices here. And I click save. So now when I test this event, what you'll see, if I go to my family fun day at the park, if I say register now, you will see the change. And the change is this. It basically asks, what type of group are you? So for this event, adult and youth family fun day, doesn't make a ton of sense that you'd have a price group like corporate nonprofit. But for example's sake, you should see how this works. So if I say corporate, and then what that means is that the price should be $150. And then if I cancel this event and I register for this event here, and I say I am a nonprofit, then my pricing should be $125. So you see it's the same event, but because I selected price groups, I'm allowed to select different pricing based on that type of group. So I hope that kind of gave you an idea of price groups. Again, they're used a lot for reservations. within price groups as well. Okay, the last item on the agenda is going to be payment schedules. So payment schedules in Double Knot are really used when, sorry, here's the effective date. So you can always build new pricing. So if you guys wanted to build new pricing, this is the pricing on 2/13, but come 3/1, like a type, come 3/1, this is the new pricing. So it allows you to build price schedules within there as well. Okay, back to payment schedules. So payment schedules are usually used on events that are kind of far out into the future and are usually have a bigger price tag. So think about camping events, or any type of like a day camp or anything where the price, isn't usually under like $100. Usually people offer the ability to use payment schedules for those types of events. So if I say payment schedule here, the first thing you're going to see is, do you want to do fixed dates or days from the date of registration? So days from the date of registration means basically you can set, instead of setting a fixed date, this payment is due on this date, you can say, well, the payment is due 25 days after your unique registration date. For this one, I'm going to say fixed dates. I'm going to say add schedule item 1. In the first dropdown, you're going to basically select what type you want to build. So I can build a discount. This is because of my price group here, which is confusing. I should delete that. But you have an amount discount per registration, which means the overall cost. You can do an amount deposit per person. So you can say you owe us $25 per person when you register. You can say per adult or per youth. So you can actually break this down and say, you owe us $25 per adult and $50 per youth. You can really pull it down to that level. You can do a percentage of the total registration. So you can say, you owe us 25% of the total registration at registration. You also can do balance due and pay in full if you so choose. So let's start off with just a basic one, amount deposit per registration. So I'm going to just call this deposit, and the amount I'm going to say is $50. So you owe us $50, and I'm going to come to the right and click at registration. You can also build late fees into this, which I'll show in a moment. But for this first initial schedule item, I just want to build a simple $50 deposit per registration at registration. I'm going to add schedule item 2. So for this one, I'm going to say the next one is going to be a per registrant payment. So I'm going to call this payment 1. And the amount's going to be $25. Actually, I'm going to change this. I'm going to set it to $50 per person. If I wanted to, I could say I'm also going to build a discount or late fee into this. So if I wanted to, I could say per registrant, the amount's going to be $5, and I'm going to call it an early discount before, I could say 3/1/2020. So what this means is that payment 1 is due 3/1/2020, but if you pay before, you're going to get a $5 discount per person. So you can actually build these in. You can also just say payment 1 and set a date. You don't have to set a discount. You could just say none, and there's no discount. You just want that payment to be due on 3/1. The next one I'm going to say is another per registrant discount, and I'll call this payment 2, and it's going to be another $50 per person, or I'll say 25 per person. And I'm not going to put any discount there. I just want this one due on 4/1/2020. And then I'm going to add schedule item 4, and then this one's going to be the final payment, so a balance due. I also could do pay in full. So a lot of people will do like a pay in full discount. So let's do this. I'm going to flip this to none. and say, forget that discount. I just want $50 per person on 3/1. I could do something like for payment 2, I could say pay in full. And if you pay in full, I don't have to put an amount because it's going to just automatically know if I pay in full. So if I pay in full, I'm going to put a discount here. I'm going to do a per person discount of $5. So that means if they pay in full by 4/1, they're going to get a $5 discount per person. But now I'm going to say the balance due. So the balance due will automatically calculate what is due. You don't have to put any amount. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a late fee on here. So if you don't pay the balance due, let's say by 6/1/2020, I'm going to give you a $15 late fee per registration. I'm going to save this. So now what you're going to see on my unique event is this payment schedule. So I have a deposit $50 per registration at registration. Payment 1 is $50 per registrant due 3/1. Payment 2 says, well, if you pay in full by 4/1, you get $5 discount per registrant. Balance due by 6/1/2020. I thought I put a late fee on that. Maybe it didn't save. Let's see. Oops, let me see. Late fee. Save that. So now you'll see here, my balance due says balance due by 6/1/2020. Otherwise, you get a $15 late fee per registration. So let's go ahead now and test this event. And now you can see what this schedule looks like. And again, with payment schedules, there's a lot of options for how you build these. So again, I encourage you to test it, because once you build it, once you see the schedule here, it's a little more clear how it's going to react. On the screen when you build it, there's a lot of options. There's a lot of drop downs here. So once you save this, you'll see on this page here, it's really clear what it's going to do, right? Pay in full by 4/1, otherwise you get a $5 late fee per registrant. Early discount, sorry. Balance due, otherwise get $15 late fee per registration. So again, play around with this. If you have questions, again, please feel free to reach out and let us know. So let's go ahead and test this now. So now if I say family fun day at the park, and I'm going to say I'm corporate, and it's going to be, I'm going to say 3 adults and 8 youth. I'm going to say continue. Now you'll see right here my payment schedule built in, as well as my discounts for my free adults. But you'll see the total amount is $16.50. Do you want to amount to pay now? You'll see this automatic selection is $50 because that's the first item on my payment schedule. Next payment due on 3/1. So if I select this, it's going to make me pay $500 total because that's the total of the 2 that I built. So that schedule I have built is $50 per person and then $50 per person due by 3/1. So for a total of $500. So I can pay that one if I want. And if this one now, you'll see I can select the third one that says if I pay in full now, it's going to give me $45 per early payment discount. The reason is that I built that discount that says if you pay in full by 4/1, we're going to give you $5 per person off. They also can pay other amount. So technically they can pay any amount above the minimum, which in this case is $50. Does anyone have any questions? I guess I'm doing such a great job that. Okay, so that's going to wrap up the webinar for today. If anyone has any questions, please reach out to our support staff at support@doublenut.com. Also, please feel free to call in support, but I also encourage you all to test. So go through, build payment schedules, build discounts, and kind of test them out on your events as you go through. We always recommend doing that. It gives you a feel for the system, allows you to play with it and kind of hone it in the exact way that you want. Thank you very much for attending. We appreciate your support and we hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.